Welcome back to Three Scoops Podcast. I'm Kel.
I'm Ron.
And I'm Rob.
And I'm Batman.
We appreciate you guys tuning in because obviously you're bored and have really nothing better to do. So here we all are. You and us. 4 assholes with headphones on.
4. 1, 2, 3. Do I have 2?
Our listener.
Oh.
Hello.
Break that wall.
Hello, lone listener.
Are we starting?
Maybe people listen in groups.
Yeah,
Then
maybe they do.
There could be many assholes.
Maybe this gets played during an orgy. If someone's
Maybe
like, I
they're-
want some Phase 4 Marvel speculation during this orgy I'm
Maybe
in.
they're at work.
Having an orgy.
Are we doing this?
Are we started?
Yeah, this is it. We're going. We're live.
Wow.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. So, Phase 4 Marvel speculation.
Okay.
What is Phase 4?
I believe that's what comes after Endgame.
So that was Phase 3?
Well, technically, they're claiming that Spider-Man: Far From Home is the end of Phase 3.
The one that hasn't come out yet.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It
So,
comes
yeah,
out July 2nd, I believe.
Yeah, the Marvel movies have been released in phases, so...
So what was Phase 1? I mean, generally, obviously.
Phase 1 is everything from Iron Man all the way up through the Avengers.
The first Avengers
first
movie.
Avengers.
Got it.
And basically everything from there leading up
To the start of Endgame.
Age of Ultron
Age of Ultron, okay.
is Phase 2, right? The Avengers movies is what pieces it off, right?
Right.
So a year later we got Age
Got
of
it.
Ultron, and then now we got
And then, okay.
Infinity War and Endgame. is
Got it. And then the little ones in between, like
And the little
Ant-Man, the
ones in
Wasp,
between.
and stuff like that. Okay.
That being said, Spider-Man: Far From Home should be setting up Phase 4, being that it's the last movie in Phase 3, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of possible ways they could go with this.
Yeah.
I don't know how. If we did the trailer breakdowns. There's been a new trailer release since our last Spider-Man: Far From Home trailer breakdown, and
Which I haven't seen.
it's dropped some little clues. What are you thinking, looking forward? What are you seeing happening in the near future for Marvel?
Well, Disney just acquired Fox,
Yes.
so like all their movie rights and all that kind of stuff. And what's significant about that is that Fox owned a lot of the Marvel characters, most notably the X-Men, and as well as the Fantastic Four.
And the Silver Surfer.
All that.
Deadpool too,
And
right?
Oh, yeah.
Namor.
All of that. So
So, did Sony only have Spider-Man, or they have any other ones?
They had Fantastic Four.
well, Sony has
Sony Fox.
No. Just Sony has the rights to Spider-Man and all related characters.
Okay.
So characters like Venom,
And yeah,
Silver Sable,
Miles
the Black
Morales.
Cat, Morbius, which I believe there are movies that are all announced from Sony. There's going to be a Morbius movie, as well as probably a Silver Sable and Black Cat movie.
Morbius. Do you know who that is?
no,
Rob?
I don't know who any of those people are.
Morbius, the living vampire.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
He's also
that was long.
yeah, I forget. What I was
Okay.
gonna say.
Oh yeah.
I was
Anyway,
gonna say something dumb and not true.
all right.
I do
But
that
anyway,
so
also,
much.
Those are the best things.
Man, yeah, I say dumb, not true stuff all the time.
Also, Venom, which did just come out,
Yeah,
and so now there's rumors going around as to whether like Spider-Man and Venom are going to cross over.
okay.
So, but anyway, that's all from the Sony side. Which there's a deal right now between Sony and Disney as far as like just sharing Spider-Man.
Yes,
But as far as the other characters go, we don't know yet. But
I'm sure
back
they
to-
could. They've got money. I'm sure it's just a matter of money.
Right. Back to Fox, though. So it's very possible that we could start seeing X-Men or the Fantastic Four or any of those related characters soon.
The big
As far as the X-Men go, probably, I'm going to guess probably not, at least within the next 5 years.
no
Okay.
way. There's
You think
no
it'll be
way-
quicker?
No, there's no way they're gonna sit on that cash for that long.
You think it'll be sooner?
Oh yeah, there's no way that they're gonna spend all that money to acquire it and not try to reacquire some of their funds that they've gotten from being able to use that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Those properties. I'm popping my knuckles. You're popping your back. Crack, 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 crack. Man, if you look at it though, the stuff that I'm excited to see, I'll give you 3 big things I'm excited to see with this acquisition. Number 1, Keanu Reeves as Logan. Some people don't like it. I think
Is that a
Wolverine? That's a speculation.
speculation?
Right now.
Okay.
He's come out and said on his Twitter and social media threads that he wants to play that character and he would enjoy playing him.
Okay.
That's number 1. Number 2, John Krasinski who is Jim from The Office, if people don't know the actor by name, as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. That would be perfect. That would be a great portrayal, I think.
Now, is Keanu Reeves older than Hugh Jackman? That's what I thought. That's what's weird to me about
Keanu Reeves.
He's not young. He's in his 50s. I know.
He's in his 50s, but also Hugh Jackman's in his 50s.
I know. You just think that if they were going to do a reboot, they'd reboot it with a younger actor.
But Keanu Reeves does look younger than Hugh
He
Jackman.
does.
So, I mean, even if they continue with an Old Man Logan storyline, there's a lot of plot threads that they haven't tugged on. You know what I mean? There's
more of that dead horse to beat, is what you're saying?
Oh, yeah. There's the whole Old Man Logan series, which is like, has, just to throw out some big keywords there, post-apocalyptic, incestual Hulk.
Whoa.
Hulk rapes his cousin and then has a bunch of incestuous, like, backwoods Hulk babies that kill Logan's family. Spoiler alert if you haven't read Old Man Logan.
Tell me more.
Red Skull ends up killing all of the heroes. Wolverine kills all... he orchestrated, but Wolverine kills all the heroes. Mysterio, who's going to debut in the new Spider-Man movie, actually uses his senses, or his ability to trick the senses, to trick Wolverine into thinking that all the people in the X-Mansion are his enemies, and then Wolverine just shreds through everybody. And normally they would be able to beat him, but since it was Logan, they gave that half a second of hesitation, and he just slaughters them. I mean, there's some cool things that could be brought to life in cinema from those storylines that would be, I mean, I think top sellers. And then the third thing I didn't get a name that I would be excited to see is Doctor Doom. The introduction of the next big bad guy, I think that could rival Thanos as far as, just being iconic in the comics, being able to transfer to the big screen, something they've done wrong so many times over at Fox that they could get right and just have it be fucking epic, would be Victor Von Doom, Doctor Doom, hitting the silver screen in a meaningful... It'd have to be like a method acting way, They'd have to get somebody big to play him and really carry it out right. But Doctor Doom is like, oh man, he's just, it's beyond words. If you're not familiar with him in the comics, or if you don't have any sort of frame of reference for how epic he is, I mean, it's some of the things he's pulled off are nutso.
Battleworld,
yeah. Well, that's the thing in the Spider-Man Far From Home trailers. You hear Nick Fury talking to Peter Parker about where Mysterio came from, and he said he came from another Earth because there was a rift opened up when the snaps happened, the multiple snaps, and that he came through that. Well, in the comics, there's a series called Battleworld that initially started with incursions, which is basically like two worlds, two separate, not timelines, but two separate parallel universes basically trying to merge into one space in the space-time continuum. And when that would happen, basically the heroes of one world and the alternate heroes on the other world would have to fight each other to destroy the other planet so that the one planet had a space to move into. Otherwise, both planets would be destroyed. And that ended up setting up a consolidation by Doctor Doom of all the universes into one universe. So we have like this crazy singular world that has all these elements of these parallel Marvel universes where there's like an infinite ocean of zombie versions of all of our favorite heroes that are brainless and just trying to destroy each other, kept out of the main kingdom by a wall. Franklin Richards, Reed Richards, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, all these different characters converging on one planet to have this epic battle. There's like 9 Infinity Gauntlets. I mean, there's every character you can think of makes an appearance. It's pretty fucking epic.
Do you think that might be a little much, though?
No, where are they going to go? There's only... No one can stop me. I'm all the way up. Disney's shooting for the stars now, man. Why not just blow your load setting up this whole next, 15, 20 years of Marvel movies?
I think the next big villain that needs to be done is Galactus.
I get it because he's so dangerous, but who are you going to get as an actor to portray Galactus in a meaningful, involving way? Even in the comics, Galactus is obviously threatening, but he has no character to speak of.
Well, I mean,
he's an elemental force. I'll give you that.
What if they get an an ominous voice?
Hello, I'm Morgan Freeman. I'm here to devour your world. That's more like Bane. I'm Bane Freeman.
Bane Freeman.
I was born dark. You merely adopted it, Brad and Angelina.
Wow.
Okay, so I don't know. I think that because Galactus was such a missed opportunity before. I mean, they presented him as like a cloud, which is
Clouds are dangerous.
oh yeah,
See those tornadoes?
Sure, whatever.
Clouds are scary.
Right.
They're dark and wet.
Yeah, I think now is an opportunity for them to really try to do it right. So
I think it's definitely could be a villain leading up to that upper echelon. But man, you gotta admit they gotta get Doctor Doom in there somewhere. They've done him wrong so many times.
I'm just thinking, like, who can they bring in that can put the smack down on Captain Marvel?
Doctor Doom.
You think so?
I don't know. No, maybe Adam Warlock is the Magus.
They've talked down on Captain Marvel.
Dude, they had Thanos punch her in the face. And I assume he has.
Stone.
I assume he has some sort of genitals.
He did punch her in the face a couple of times, and she liked it. And then so he grabbed the Power Stone and then punched her.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, obviously too. What's been alluded to in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, at the end of the last Guardians movie, they flashed over to Adam Warlock's cocoon, and for comic fans like Ron and I mean, we kind of knew what to expect with that. But some things I've heard as far as casting goes, they're looking at Zac Efron possibly to play the perfect man. And if you think about that character and what he entails, he has an alter ego that's just as powerful as he is. And Adam Warlock is pretty powerful. He's basically like Space Jesus. He like sacrifices himself for the greater good and is resurrected and lives in the soul world inside the Soul Stone. But if you look at his alter ego, the Magus, which is basically the antithesis of that, which is like the kind of Lucifer, fallen angel, burn the world just to watch it burn. He could be potentially, I think, with the help of some of the Power Stones, especially if he was had any sort of connection to the Soul Stone like he did in the comics, just like Captain Marvel did. But I'm saying just like Captain Marvel did. I don't know if that is something that they could use to, especially with the dimensions collapsing in on themselves. That means there's other dimensions breaking the veil to our dimension, which means that the possibility of that dimension's soul stones coming in to our dimension, I mean, it totally doesn't take them off the plate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I hope they don't come back because
they're big MacGuffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, big ex machina. But that being said, too, if
maybe they'll come back from another dimension.
Will they work in this dimension though?
In the comics, they don't. They don't work in the dimension not of their origin. So they're kind of just like an infinite, like, it's like cubic zirconia. It's like, wow, look how pretty. It's like, yep, real pretty.
Okay, so do you think we'll see? I mean, with the possibility of new characters, who do you think that we're going to start to see?
I definitely think, like you were saying, the possibility for the X-Men to make the appearance first. I think after this Dark Phoenix movie that they're doing, which looks like garbage, honestly, from the trailers I've watched, I have no intention of seeing it. I saw X-Men Apocalypse was total garbage. I didn't like it. Didn't do anything for me whatsoever. I would have rather not seen. If I could go, there's very few movies that if I could go back in time and unwatch them to unwaste my time, I would do it. That's one of them.
Which one? Apocalypse?
Dark Phoenix.
Oh, Dark Phoenix?
I'm sorry, yeah, Apocalypse, yeah. And I feel like Dark Phoenix isn't going to
It's going to be one of those? Is that what you think?
It's all the same actors reprising the same roles, and I like some of those. I like Michael Fassbender. I like some of these other characters, but I don't... The storyline is weak. There's a very weak storyline. And Dark Phoenix is such an epic storyline, and the actress that plays Jean Grey, I'm not invested in her whatsoever. She hasn't done anything to really cement herself in that role. It's like you look at someone like Hugh Jackman's portrayal of Logan, or you look at someone like Chris Evans' portrayal of Captain America, or you look at these roles that people stepped into and just truly assumed. I have never looked at her after watching several of these movies and thought, oh, there's Jean Grey. That's the Jean Grey that people are going to remember from 40 years from now. No, they're going to recast her with a stronger actress.
I don't think she looks right for it. And I'm just saying, and it just probably because I grew up watching the other X-Men movies. There's something about her. She doesn't, to me, I don't see it.
She doesn't
like,
have that
like when I look
tumultuous
at the younger kid playing Xavier and Magneto, like I see it.
Yeah, even that,
I just don't see it. I just don't think she was cast right for that.
No, I don't think she was either.
So do you think the former Jean Grey is the better Jean Grey?
I think she looks more like she did in the comics. Even though I never read the comics, I've seen pictures from the comics. She I don't know, the face type, it just.
I think
is she more Jean Grey than Jean Grey?
That's a gray area. There's something to the actress's face, though. Like you said, that she's a little bit older, maybe early 30s, when the first X-Men movie came out, from the original cinematic debut of the X-Men. But she has that look to her, like she could go Dark Phoenix and be a threatening persona.
Definitely, yeah.
This younger gal, I don't know if it's just because she looks so young, but she doesn't have. I don't get that from her.
Yeah.
I don't see that.
She could definitely go dark. Remember Goldeneye? On a top.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, they're kind of retelling this whole Dark Phoenix story, which we got before with X-Men Last Stand.
Yeah, this is in a way that's more true to the comics, so I'll give it that. Mm-hmm. It looks like she's adopting the powers while they're on a spaceship in space, which is from the original comics when Jean Grey got exposed to the Phoenix Force. Yeah. They're kind of doing like a spacewalk thing, like, oh, get her back inside the ship. What happened up there, Jean? I don't know. I feel so weird. They're not doing anything that looks from the trailers new or exciting with it. I'm going to watch it, but I feel as though going into it, I'm going to want my time back and my $8.50 for cinema entrance fees.
Okay,
it's a lot more expensive for people down south.
Okay, so let's go away from the Fox and the X-Men and stuff. What do you think is coming straight out of like MCU? What we've seen?
Okay, well, there's certain things that we know. Black Panther is getting a sequel.
Doctor Strange,
probably.
I think they've announced it.
Captain Marvel's getting a sequel.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hooray!
I think Tom Holland's going to keep
Guardians of the Galaxy, as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Asgardians.
The Asgardians.
The Galaxy.
What about Black Widow? That's coming too, right?
A solo movie.
Prequel, maybe,
something, yeah.
Or who knows?
I think prequel, yeah. Which would be cool. I would be game to see that, Maybe they'll cover that interesting story thread about Budapest that they never elaborated on.
That would actually be interesting, I guess. It maybe would make me not hate the Endgame moment as much. It's like, remember Budapest? No, actually I don't.
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
They've alluded to that in like every Avengers movie. You and I remember Budapest much differently. She's like, oh no, it's just like that because of the aliens. Yeah. It's like, huh?
Yeah. But it's probably just gonna be something stupid like Fury's eye. Last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye.
It was a cat. Right. I'm still really mad. But I'd be excited to see kind of like the they could go in an interesting way with that movie that's going to be a lot different than the other Marvel movies because it's an origin story. It's just her reprising a younger role of herself, I assume, in the Red Room, getting that training. I mean, basically, she becomes sterile. They make her sterile through a surgical process. They tie her tubes or whatever they do.
Spay, I think they call it spay.
She gets neutered, and then from there, I mean, they dehumanize her. They use her as a young, impressionable child. When that's the thing. There's a quote. I forget what famous U.S. general said it, but he said, "Give me an army of 18-year-olds, and I'll conquer the world." When you're that young, you have all this desire and want and passion and drive and energy, physiological energy inside of you, but your brain isn't fully developed yet, so you don't really have an idea for the consequences of your actions.
You're clay.
Yeah, you're clay, exactly. But as you starting to harden and you become 24, 25, her early 30s, which is kind of where I'm assuming 30 to 40 during the course of the Avengers movies, she has to lie more with those actions, the consequences of those actions. It becomes more significant to her over time, given time. And I think it'd be cool to watch a good actress like Scarlett Johansson go through that and portray that.
Well,
I think it'd be an important
It sounds
role.
simple, but there's really only one thing they have to do to make this movie good, and that is have good writers.
Yeah.
And some of these ones they do, and some they don't. Like we saw with Captain Marvel, not that good. This movie can be great if they have a good writer, because it is a good. They've got the story, they've got the fan base,
They got the actress.
good
actress. Yeah, they have good plot material to work with.
Yep.
Hopefully, they do something interesting with it and they don't drop the ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else do we think we'll see besides what we know? So that we talked about what we know. Okay, what do we think?
If they have these other dimensions merging together and they have alternate versions of characters coming over, I think that we have the possibility of seeing Miles Morales Spider-Man. I think that we have the possibility of seeing maybe Mysterio is a good guy. It looks like he's using some powers in the trailer for Spider-Man that are reminiscent of Doctor Strange, using his different spells and incantations. If he's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Sorcerer.
He's a sorcerer. If he's the wizard in that dimension,
It's gonna be great.
there could be some cool stuff in there. You know what I mean? Imagine having, Bruce Banner and the Hulk personas merging as one into Professor Hulk, but also then having adamantium plating put into his body and some, or who knows? There's so many combinations.
yeah.
If they're just going to merge characters like that, if they're going to make, a Mysterio that's a good guy and also the Sorcerer Supreme, shut up. So if he's the weird wizard in that dimension, if they can merge some characters like that and kind of do some essentially what's a mashup of characters, that's so interesting. There could be so many cool things. Imagine, I don't know. Imagine how cool Clint Barton's Hawkeye would be if he had the power cosmic or something like that. You know what I mean? Shooting pure energy arrows. Okay, that sounds
That's
super
a different
lame when I
podcast.
said it.
Right.
There could be some cool stuff. I think the possibilities are endless for what we could see moving forward.
So you're thinking with Spider-Man Far From Home, with the whole multi-dimensional stuff, we're going to start to see some really interesting, different takes on what can potentially come into the movies.
It gives them a lot of freedom to take license with some of these characters and do some interesting things with them. And they already he said in the newest trailer, he goes, so there's a multiverse? And that's a phrase, and I don't know if you're familiar or not. In the comics, that phrase gets thrown around.
I'm familiar
so
with
much.
it in other works, so I know what it means when they say that.
But yeah, the implication from the comics is that there's an infinite number of multiverses with an infinite amalgamation. I mean, you look at the Spider-Verse movie that came out, the new Spider-Man animated movie. There's a pig Spider-Man. There's a 1940s gritty detective Spider-Man. There's white Spider-Man who's older. There's younger black Spider-Man. There's girl Spider-Man in a Asian girl with a giant mech Spider-Man suit. There's endless possibilities, and I think it could be fun if they do it the right way. If they don't take themselves too seriously, which Marvel's
So what do
been
we see coming from the Avengers standpoint? Are we getting new Avengers?
I don't know if they're going to use that name. Do you think they're going to start using some different, not Defenders, but there's been some other team names that have been popular over the years.
The Revengers.
The Revengers. The Revengers. Are they going to put that name to rest? I think they might.
Well, so it seems like the backbone of the team before was Tony Stark and Steve Rogers.
Both gone.
Both gone now. But we have a new Captain America, basically, with Falcon.
Clarence' parents had a real nice marriage.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean...
Clarence from 8 Mile, dude. He's the new Captain America.
What else would they be?
What do you mean?
To me, it's
what
it
else
still
other
seems-
than the Avengers?
Right. I
I
mean,
think it's what he
they-
means. I mean,
they
they already
already-
have the logos and stuff in the uniforms.
They already did the Defenders.
Oh wait, no, the compound's destroyed. They can be anything they want.
Right. Well.
There's still, there's a possibility of X-Force and X this and that tying in, because some of those have mutants, but also have them folded over with other superheroes that aren't necessarily mutants, and some of those combinations and amalgamations of team members and teammates.
I don't want that.
It could happen, though.
You know what,
I mean?
though? I think what we might end up seeing is the Avengers versus X-Men.
That could be an interesting plot line as well. Just see Wolverine
That
chop the head
happened
off
in
of
As
Clint
long as it's
Barton.
not bad, like Batman versus Superman or anything like, you know what I mean? As long as it's good,
Right.
I'll watch it.
I just want to see more rated R movies too. Like, you know what I mean? I do. I want to see if whoever
will Disney do that though?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
they've already seen how much money it can make. Look at Logan. Look at how much money Logan made. Look at how much money Deadpool made with a relatively low overhead for CGI and actors.
They went back and re-released a PG-13 version of
Yeah.
Deadpool too.
I don't know if Disney's going to quite go that far.
I think as long as they brand it correctly, I think
They're going to bludgeon us with their selective morality.
Yeah, but we've already seen them kind of retract some of their previous stances on things like that. Like, look, they rehired James Gunn under fan scrutiny and pressure. I think if the fans demand it, hey, we want another gritty Old Man Logan movie. Hey, we want another bloody Deadpool movie where he's shooting dudes through the head. Hey, we want, you know, I mean, if we push for that sort of thing as fans and the fan base and make our voices heard, I think that that's something that they're receptive to, because what they see ultimately is dollar signs. You know, morality be damned. All the older guys that might actually care about that are dying off, and more, you know, capital-driven young guys are taking over.
I think it depends on how receptive they are. I mean,
they're very receptive to money.
Okay, well,
they receive lots of it.
Using that as an example, I mean, look at Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars is not doing very well right now.
That's poor writing.
Yeah. Exactly.
But think about how much more interesting it would be also if they did bump up to a PG-13 rating.
It is PG-13.
Or they had, you know, if they had more violence, like
more violence, yeah.
Not just someone's.
I don't think the
violence
was what made it bad though. Not having violence.
But as time goes on, though, I think if you look at,
I'm just saying that there's different types of movies. I think Star Wars doesn't have to be R as long as it's well written. But there are some things that it would benefit because it's just a more an adult theme, a more adult story.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if they had not necessarily an R rating, but if they had some more violence, like someone gets wounded and there's a long-term percussion of that wound, like someone loses an arm or loses a leg or an eye, or if when they're having, you know, a romantic scene, there's actual sexual tension instead of just like contrived romantic tension. Like, I don't like sand. It's gritty and coarse and it gets everywhere. You know, it's like, okay, you guys haven't had anything that makes me believe, like, there's like the selective kiss and there's like these overblown
Disney
morality
characters don't
plays.
have sex.
I'm just saying sexual tension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's something to be said for a realistic portrayal of the relationship or the potential for a relationship between a man and a woman that makes a movie more compelling. And I think that's what a lot of these movies are lacking. They're lacking more compelling elements. They just try to do bigger explosions. Oh, this Death Star is 10 times the size of the last Death Star. This lightsaber has 4 lightsabers on it. Now it has 10 lightsabers on this lightsaber. Like, they're just trying to redo and outdo the gimmicky things that they've done in the past.
Definitely bad writing. I'm just saying that I don't think them going to R would have fixed anything. Them hiring competent writers would definitely have fixed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think without a competent writer still needs to be able to work within a realm where they can have the freedom to tell a story. And I think without certain realistic aspects, the story, no matter how good the plot is, if there's not those real relationships that are built over the course of that plot being executed, it's just still going to only be so appealing.
Yeah, I just don't think you necessarily have to have an R rating to build a
I wasn't saying
real relationship.
Necessarily an R rating, but yeah, I mean, there's no, I don't know. There's no real human emotions, it seems like, in a lot of these movies.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Now, which movies are we talking about?
The newer Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
It just, when a YouTuber can make a 15-minute animated video that's more entertaining than Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean.
That's kind of sad.
But
you have people that are paid a lot of money to do this full time.
Yeah.
And they can't deliver, which is really sad.
And then they're blaming us.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, specifically us.
Right.
People like us, our age demographic, saying that. Like,
for those of us who don't
we just don't know how to change.
Oh, yeah.
Like, no, your movie's horrible.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can get Fox and Marvel and Disney all together, you know, can get some of these properties rolling as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes and moving into Phase 4.
I just hope it doesn't go downhill from here, because it seems like they hit a pretty high
tough
bar.
Act to follow.
Well, at least they hit it good. I mean, some people are a little disappointed with Endgame, but I mean, it was still overall it was a good movie.
Yeah.
Versus like what Game of Thrones did, where they just bombed at the end. You know, Marvel didn't bomb at the end, so there's something to look forward to.
Right.
And hopefully they reprise some of these great directors that they've had doing some of the more successful Marvel movies, some of these good writers like James Gunn, they let them come back and they let them continue to write and create for the franchise, because I think it served them, and hopefully they see that.
Okay.
So,
what do you think, guys? I mean, are you guys excited for what's coming? I mean, we kind of just talked about like what we think could possibly come, but are you guys excited for it?
I am.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward. I mean, they'll get.
I'm optimistic. I'm the exact opposite as I am for the new Star Wars movies coming out. Like I was telling you, or one of you two before. I'm going to be really disappointed if the next one isn't horrible.
Yeah,
because I don't want them to buck the trend.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully they continue and they come out strong, man. I really hope the best for them, because I love these characters. And even people that aren't into the comics, I think you can say the same thing. If I'm not over speaking, I don't want to speak for you, but you come to relate to some of these characters and some of these storylines, and I want to see them go and move forward in the future. I want to see what they do with the new version of Thor. I want to see what they do with the new version of Professor Hulk. I want to see where they go with some of these characters and these storylines that they have available to
them.
them.
Do you think Thor is going to lose the weight?
Maybe I don't want him to, buddy.
I
like the Big Lebowski Thor.
I liked how the lightning braided his beard.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. All fathers, can I get a good deal on a French braid on my goatee? Like, yeah, one lightning strike. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited to see where they go with it.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
That being said,
we're good.
I think this will wrap up this speculative episode of Three Scoops podcast. So
it's been insightful.
It has it
and arousing.
Well, yes,
mentally,
it has piqued my interest.
Oh my! So
my jeans are getting gray.
Killen, where else can you find us?
You can find us on Instagram at I almost played my band. Gray Jeans. You can find us on Instagram at 3.scoops.707, and you can follow us on Facebook, 3 Scoops Podcast. Hopefully you guys tune in, and if you do choose to subscribe here at our YouTube channel, hopefully you can click that subscribe button and then grab the notification bell and stay up to date on all the releases. We release new content every Sunday.
And don't forget to leave us a comment.
Yeah, and don't forget to leave us a comment. What do you guys think is going to come down for Phase 4? You guys see what we saw? Do you guys have any other speculations, different characters you want to see? If so, we'll totally argue with you in the comments and tell you how wrong you are.
All right. Thanks a lot for listening, guys. Again, this has been Three Scoops Podcast. I'm Ron.
I'm Kel.
And I'm Rob. Thanks for listening.
All right. Bye.
Bye.